My name is Sohrab, and I pretty much do everything that I find interesting, whether it is, doing nightclubs, to quick service restaurants, to lounge bars, to running advisory firms. This is just the work front. Apart from that, where sports is concerned, whether it's 10-meter platform diving, 3-meter springboard diving, or um, cricket, chess, and golf, you name it. Um, I love playing the piano, the acoustic guitar, and the string guitar. Acoustic, I mean classical stuff. Right to producing electronic music on keyboard workstations and arranger synthesizers. Um, Stamp collecting, philately, or even drone photography and flying. And I'm able to do this because I have time. And that is what I want to tell everyone, that the time is only available because of entrepreneurship. So hence I'm here to help you become an entrepreneur and also tell you what are the traits that are required to become a successful entrepreneur. Not the traits that you can just YouTube it or Google it. No, the traits that you can actually, the traits which come from experience. So here we go. Let me tell you how I started this business of entrepreneurship. It's just that one spark that it takes, and that's exactly what happened to me. I was in Calcutta for a job, lovely city, and I used to work very hard. But working hard was okay, but I partied even harder. So there was not a single nightclub where I wouldn't go and I wouldn't be welcome, because I loved partying in those days as well as now. Uh, so it so happened that one of the nightclubs, the bouncer just wouldn't let me in. And I tried everything with that bouncer, right from I'm a regular here to I spend a lot of money in the club to my friends are very influential. And when nothing worked, I even told him that, one of my relatives is in the income tax department, so on and so forth. But the guy was pretty stubborn and he never let me in. From that day, I decided that I must do something on my own where at least the music won't suck. At least the music will be as per my liking, etc., etc. And just because you're not in the company of opposite sex, you won't be stopped. So I ended up doing a nightclub, and that was my journey into entrepreneurship. I started in the year 2000. Before that, I was working, of course. And then from there, it's been a journey. And you may know a few of the places that I've done. I started off with No Escape, which was a banging nightclub, to Tabula Rasa, to Shalom, to Laid Back Waters. Um, I've done Italic, which was a chain of Italian restaurants. Fat Tiger, which is the new QSR brand. Kevinter's, which is a QSR brand selling milkshakes, and we've scaled it to quite an extent. So, and yet I want to do more and more. So the thing is that how have I been able to do all this is purely because I've got time, and time I've got because I decided and I became an entrepreneur. So what exactly is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is nothing but getting work done from people. It's relationship. So primarily you think of an idea and you employ highly skilled people to do that work and achieve your dreams. Primarily that's what is entrepreneurship. So it's just people. It's people business. You know, a lot of people say, oh my God, you need to be excellent in finance, you need to be good. And yes, those things are there, but that is not why you're an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur knows this is the single most important trait of an entrepreneur. That is, he is a people's man. And that is what all of you need to incorporate. There's a big difference between self employed and entrepreneurship. It's completely different. Self employed, you're doing most of the work. Entrepreneurship, business, is you're getting work done from people, and that is the only way. It has many joys, entrepreneurship. The first thing, like always I say, you have the ability to create jobs, and when you do that, you get blessings of the people who are working for you, provided, of course, that you're a good boss and relationship building. Uh, but this is one of the few opportunities you get in life where you can actually earn the blessings of people, and that gives you a lot of joy. There's no greater joy than the joy of giving. I'm sure all of you must have experienced it at some point or the other. Nothing better. So this is something that entrepreneurship does. The second most important thing, and you know, you're also contributing significantly to the economy of India by creating jobs. And the second most important thing is that it gives you time, and time is everything. You know, it gives you freedom. You've all heard about the freedom struggle. People have killed each other for freedom, and here you are, you're getting it on a platter. You know, and you can utilize the time that you're getting to do many things, right from upgrading yourself, upskilling yourself, learning a new art, learning music, learning golf, learning, I mean, you name it, whatever, learning about the stock market. So basically reading and reading different type of materials so that you're skilled in lots of things, not just in one skill. So this is one of the most important traits that you're able to. And remember, we keep talking about being different. You know, business something, should think different, business is this, business is that. But remember one thing in life, there is, how do you make a business different? You make a business different by imparting your personality into it. And that is what entrepreneurship is able to do for you. And that can only happen because you are developing yourself. You're developing your personality. And when you do that, that's the personality that you incorporate in your brand. And hence, it's essential for you to develop your personality. And that is how you become different. You don't become different by thinking a radically very, very different business. That's not entrepreneurship. Right? So, very essential. Now that you know that these are the skills that are required in business, here is what you need to do. There are three most important traits to be successful in business. And like I told you, well, yes, creating systems and processes is important, creating something else, finance knowledge is important, but all that, there are enough people to do that for you. But the most important thing that's very, very important is the ability to network. It is a people business. So don't underestimate. There are three things I'm going to talk about. One is networking, and that's essential for you if you want to become an entrepreneur. One is networking. Second is storytelling. And the third is not being so engrossed that you forget about everything, to have fun primarily. And these are the three traits of a successful entrepreneur. Let's talk about the first trait. You talk about networking, sorry. What is networking? Networking is not that your ability to know people. Networking is your ability to not only know someone, but being able to seek his help when you need it, and vice versa, help him when he needs it, right? And that is what is networking. And that doesn't come easy. Now, you guys are young, and everybody's told you, oh, you know, it's very easy to network, and all you need to do is become a good listener. That is all bullshit. You know, you cannot network just by being a great listener. You know, it'll happen once, you'll do it twice, you'll do it thrice, but beyond a time, nobody is going to be interested in someone who's not being able to contribute. Not at all. So it's essential to be able to talk, okay, to able to communicate, to be able to put across your point. And if you can't do that, you can never be a great networker. Hence, I would highly advise all of you to practice this. And not everybody is good at it. I was never good at it. I practice. And like they say, practice makes perfect. This is a phrase. You must remember it, and you've got to practice this bit by bit by bit, and you've got to do it every day, you know. So for me personally, networking opened everything. All my business partners that I've got, it's purely because of networking. I've not been able to get them otherwise. You know, networking has helped me. And my whole life has turned around. Several opportunities that I've got. Everything is primarily because of networking. So networking, you need to practice. I've been able to, actually a good tool for that would be, when you think, don't think straight. I mean, this may be a little controversial, but try and think a little different. When you do think a little different, like something that's really helped me is when I thought that I tried to be a little stupid, you know, stupid, not the sense, not just a little bit silly. Okay. So if I went to a boardroom meeting, and that's how I practiced. And this was purely to develop some kind of sense of humor and a bit of wit, which is essential for you to stand out. So if I went for a meeting, I made sure that there was something funny that I already thought of, and then I narrated it there. A lot of people laughed at me, but that was fine because I learned how to take a joke on myself, which is essential. You know, try to crack a joke. Sometimes it's intimidating to crack a joke because it's you've got to remember, and you've got to remember the punchline. There's so many other things. So one-liners came in easy. In fact, if any of you are a little scared of cracking jokes, one-liners are a great way. So my larger point is that being stupid and trying to practice makes perfect, because this is a skill. It's just like playing the guitar or any other thing, or playing golf. So if I say, let's take the guitar and I give you all the scales, and say a C scale, let's take the G scale and it's sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fi, so. I say now just by saying, you may have the knowledge, but the most important thing is to transform that knowledge into skill, and that is essential. Now the second most important skill is the skill of storytelling. Storytelling is essential, because without storytelling, fiction is what runs the world. Okay, so let's talk about fiction. Now what happens in fiction is, there's a very important saying, and again a bit controversial, but here the saying. It says that if 1,000 people believe a lie, that becomes the truth. And if 1,000,000 people believe a lie, it becomes religion. So that is the power of storytelling. And it's essential for you to develop storytelling skills, because that is what is going to again make your business stand out. That is something that will make you, you'll have to do PR, you'll have to talk to the customer. Storytelling will help you get great employees. It'll help you sell your business. It'll help you achieve whatever you want to. And again, practice makes perfect. Being a little stupid always helps. Developing a sense of humor always helps. And I would highly urge you to do that. And I'll give you a small example of how storytelling is so essential. Let me tell you. Keventers, when somebody asks me, you've always tried to scale up, and then what is the secret of scaling up across India, because everybody is so different. So what did you do? So one way of telling him is that, listen, what you need to do is reach out to all the communities, right? That is essential to storytelling. Got it? Now the other way that you can achieve this is that let me tell you a story, how it went. So once upon a time, you had the British Army, and a lot of Indians were employed in the British Army. But the British found that the Indians were not really that patriotic appeal was not really there, okay, when they were in the army. They were a scared bunch. So what did they do? British were very smart, obviously. They divided everybody into communities. So, and those communities still exist. So you've got the Sikh community, you've got the Jat community, you've got the Assam Rifles, so on and so forth. There are several Gurkhas. So there are several communities. So they divided all these communities into regiments, right? And each regiment then got their own dress code. They got their own chant in their language. They got their own flag. And immediately something changed. Now immediately, because the community was there, people were ready to die for the community. And things changed all of a sudden instantaneously. So now imagine, and that is exactly what we did in business. So when we reached out to different places, we reached out in communities, and that is what we did. So when we went, so let's take an example, when we went to Dubai. So now we know that Dubai, everybody is super proud of the buildings over there, or the landscaping. So what we did was, we created, the landscaping came on the bottle, the tall buildings came on the bottle, the pride of Dubai was there. Similarly, when we went to Kenya with Keventers, and the bottle was there, the big five came there because everybody goes there for safaris, and so on and so forth. When we went to Bangalore, which is India, in Bangalore, we we used some technology on the bottle. In Bombay, we used a little bit of Bollywood. So all of a sudden, people started feeling associated, and thus we were able to scale up. Right, guys? So what I've told you is, I could have very well said that, you have to reach out to community and that's it. But what I told you was what I've told you is essentially an art of storytelling. And that's exactly what we've done. Everything. Marketing is actually the art of storytelling that you need to master. Two things. Since I'm running short of time, let me tell you a third very important thing. Never get too engrossed in whatever you're doing. I think that's the problem. All of us. And I'll give you a story. In my youth, when I was studying in college, I was totally engrossed. I was, well, I'll tell you about my this stage later, but there was a time when I was good at everything. I was part of the school basketball team, volleyball team, cricket team. I had a band called Estrange, and I used to go to the gym. We used to play, there's a game called Doom, which was a very popular game, and we played it on the LAN network in those times. Pretty much like Fortnite, which you guys play nowadays. Everything was great till the time I got my girlfriend. Now, I'm not saying don't see anyone, there's nothing wrong with it. But what I found was that I got too engrossed in that relationship. I started giving in everything to the relationship, forgetting everything else. So, everything became long works and conversations, and everything else that I did, which I really enjoyed, by the way, was forgotten. And that was the love of my life, playing the keyboard, playing the guitar, uh, playing a sport, etc., etc. So, what happened? And what happened when I gave in everything? Something happened, and which I'm going to tell you. And now I realize that it was a mistake. And I'm going to tell you in the words of Ghalib, this is beautifully summarized. Okay? And I'm sure you guys will understand what happened to me when I was in this relationship after giving in everything. So, as Ghalib says, मोहब्बत के नशे में आके उसे खुदा बना डाला. मोहब्बत के नशे में आके उसे खुदा बना डाला. होश तब आया जब उसने कहा खुदा एक का नहीं सबका होता है. Right? So you imagine. And I had to, because of this, it was shocking for me, and then I had to restart everything. So that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Do everything that you love. Don't get so engrossed in something that you forget the other things. So these are the three things. Remember these three things. And what I want to tell you essentially is that entrepreneurship is fantastic. It is the best thing that you could ever do. You get lots of time to do the things you desire, you most desire. So I would encourage everybody to take up entrepreneurship. Remember, this is one of the ways where your work becomes a part of your life. It's not the other way around. Most of the people you meet crib, oh, my life is just work, work, work. But this is a wonderful way where you can make your work a part of your life. So what could be better? So go ahead. I hope I've sown some seeds of entrepreneurship in you. Practice now, because that is what will make you perfect, and it will make entrepreneurship a dream when you actually reach the right age. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.